So,
pleasant evening, folks.
Blessed evening.
Right, welcome back to the Afro-Trinidadian view. Right, as usual. So it looked like once we talk about something, it has happened, right? Because last week I talked about the Millennial mind, and the man appeared. He appeared because I say, boy, it didn't make sense we doing this, and we ain't get the man to come and talk to us, right? So, as usual, as we start off, sponsors.
Master Ogunwumi, you know, African flavor to your master. We have no choice but to wear it, so we must at least make a statement. You know, Davidson Watches, Dashiki by the Nubian Experience.
My t-shirt is by the Nubian Experience. African by Africa is my DNA.
I shall put on my Nubian shirt.
I saw it.
That's alright.
I say no one watching somebody
the Kurma Bites. Yeah, we are
also live
for the
first time on Instagram.
Right, so welcome everybody. This is Daniel Francis, aka the Millennial Mind, the author, the magician behind the Millennial Mind.
Yeah.
I never get magician before, I know.
Yeah, the magician behind the Millennial Mind. So what we wanted to do tonight, you know, guys, we've always tried since inception of the Afro-Trinidadian view is to empower the people to do better, be better, right? So Daniel is here today to talk to us about personal coaching and mentorship, coaching and personal development in the African community. Right? So, you know,
tell me about you first now. You know, and then you the author.
Well, I mean, I don't care. I'm careless. What, 2 years? And one thing I want me are like people who have a positive vibe. You know, so once I met Karen, it hit off one time. He's positive, focused, vision, and just kind of echoed off what I usually try to aim for. You know, I came from a point of view where I wanted to be a doctor. That was like me for years. And I never would have expected that I reach a point in my life where I just didn't know what I wanted to do.
Right.
And that's what was going on. You know, just working, not doing nothing, not saving no money, not had no goals in mind. It was just a mess.
Right.
And I need to go through that mess period of just being lost to say, you know, well, nah, enough is enough. I need to figure out what I'm doing. I can't keep wasting my life like this.
Right.
And that's really where the introduction into personal development started. I learned about time management and understanding your purpose and sticking with things that satisfy you. And I mean, if it's helping people around you, even better.
Right.
And that, you know, started coaching people, doing all these things, and that kind of helped with the first book, The Millennial Mind. And then now we're on to the second one. Being the Millennial Experience. So it really just came from, I see it in other people, but I had to experience it for myself. I had to like not understand what it is that was holding me back, and then finding out what it was and going past that to say, okay, cool, this is what I want to do for other people. I want to help them get from point A to point B. To not feel lost like I was, not feel trapped like I was, and take them to the next level, because I mean, at the end of the day, we all want to be better. We don't want to just be stuck at any one level forever.
You think that everybody know they want to be better, or some people, as they say, stuck and caught in that systematic go to work, go to work thing, and don't know. Well, do you have any? I ever come across people asking you how you reach the people that not necessarily sure how to, or don't even know where to start in terms of reaching for betterment? I ask that question because I feel that way even today. You know, me and Karen, let's have some conversations based on them things, because at 42 years old, I feel that way right now. I feel stuck. You know, so you must tell us something that you would, how you reach out to people, how you grab them in, to, for lack of a better way to phrase it. Especially those who might want to come and say, well, you know, I need that guidance. So,
first of all, it's real normal at any age. It's like you could be stuck at any point in time, because I feel like it's more mental thing than actual physical thing. If you tell yourself you want to be somewhere and you're not there, you're gonna feel like you're stuck. Like that just it could happen to anybody at any stage in life. It's really about, for me, it comes down to knowledge.
Right.
No way you look at it, no way you frame it is always about knowledge. It's about, and it's not just knowledge about like what you read and what you view, it's about the people you surround yourself with. You start with, if you are around people who just, like you are an entrepreneur and you want to have a successful business, and all the linemen with those people who just big entrepreneurs, crushing it, doing big things, you would just feel like, yo, I step it up. It's like you're playing football and you was the weakest player. You want to run more drills. You want to get more trust. You get better. It's just natural, right? But I mean, if you are, because I met a lot of people who they want better, but they don't see better. They don't see opportunities. They don't know how to get there. And it starts with who you're surrounding yourself with. Is everybody on your level? Right? Are they lower? You know, are they just don't care about what's happening around them? Right? You need to start there, because at the end of the day, you're looking at somebody who is just as lost as you, so it's basically the blind leading the blind. There's never going to be an improvement if that is all you're seeing. And I'm a big advocate for learning. Like, if you're not learning something every day, boy, it's pressure. Right? I feel like my eyes were really open when I started. Like, there's so much access to knowledge, like just watching a YouTube video, reading a little book here, having a live, like I have conversations with Karen sometimes, and I'm like, yo, I learned something, and I go with that, and that helps me in my business or in my personal life, right? But if you're not trying to access the information that's already there for free, you're just always gonna feel like you don't have much options. I remember when I first started being a coach, I felt like I didn't have any options. I felt like all I could do is sit down with somebody, talk to them, and maybe I might help them. But after I did courses, after I read some books, after I meet other coaches, after I experienced more in life, I felt like I had more options. It wasn't just, okay, I'm going to talk to you and maybe help you. No, it's like, I know I can do this. I know that I can get you to this point. I know that if I keep going along this path, based upon what I see and people doing the same thing, that I will get to this point. But that didn't come from me just guessing and assuming. That's from seeing, learning, experiencing, experimenting, and then kind of going along with it. So for those who are just, you want better, but you don't know where it is, you don't know where to start, simple as answer, start with you. Where do you want to be? And if you are saying, okay, maybe you want to be the best barber in Trinidad, maybe you want to have a successful business where you're selling 100 of your product, maybe you like your day job and you want to work your way up the corporate ladder. That is the best place to start, because now you know where the destination is, and now you can start asking questions of how do I get there? Is it that I need to speak to somebody who's already there? Befriend them, maybe have them guide me, maybe ask, like I wrote 2 books, but I ain't too ashamed. I slided in people DMs and say, hey, can you mentor me, because you are where I want to be and I want to learn from you. It really starts that simple, but sometimes pride.
Well, I'm listening to you talking, Dave, and based on some of the things you say that in we society here, that's probably the hardest part,
Pride.
Asking somebody, you know,
The ego.
You don't want to look weak. We've been raised, I mean, I feel it every day, you know, it's like this perception of feeling weak, appearing weak. Nobody wants that. You know it's not real, but you know that if you do it, somehow it's like taking a notch off of some part of you. But it's working counterproductively, because now you are stopping yourself from doing something that could potentially like change your whole life. Right? Imagine you don't want to read because it's looking lady, or you know, people tell you things, but that one book could have the one information that can start you on the path to do something amazing. So it's not asking the question about, okay, yes, there's pride, yes, there's your circumstance, but at a point in time, you have to understand it's your life. Nobody's going to come into your life and change your life for you. You could have people maybe looking at you a funny way because they don't understand what you're doing, they don't understand your vision, but you know, at the end of the day, these people are not paying your bills. These people are not making decisions for you. These people, when you not making money, you're homeless, or you're struggling, or you feel like you have no direction, people are not going to be there for you. You have to pick yourself up and say, this is what I want, and I'm going to go for it. I talk to Carol about this all the time. We go back and talk about this all the time. People say they want better, and then you know, Carol and Blood, you say, well, go for it.
And we're stopping it.
Exactly. And then they kind of falter, and it's the fair. It's either the fear the pride, whatever happened to them, they pass, they try, or they see, and they say, well, they don't for them, they can't offer me it.
What do you say to that? As the coach, what do you say to that?
Yeah. I think, I can't remember the book I read that talked about it, but I find that book phrased real good. Yeah. It was talking about you have to weigh worst case scenario and your ability to bounce back from it. Right? So, perfect example, when I came out with the first book, I said, I never write a book before, right? But I feel like if I do this well, I have to go full 100, which means I have to get people to help me, I have to pay them, I have to find the money, I have to do all these things. Right? So I say, alright, so let me take a total, you know, try my thing, right? So I played out the worst case scenario. Alright, let's say worst case scenario, I sell 50 books, I can't pay back my loan, I'll probably get a little day job, you know, I kind of suck salt for a while, but I learned something in between. That's worst case scenario. But at the end of the day, that worst case scenario is still a book. Correct. That I could bring to meetings and say, hey, I'm a water. And it might open other doors. Right? When I play that worst case scenario, I have to think about, well, if that happens, then what? Is it so bad that I will not be able to bounce back? Yeah, I can bounce back. But sometimes we think about the worst case. Yeah, stay there. Yeah, we stay there. Yeah. But even the worst case, if you really look at it, you will survive, you know. Maybe you fail, and the worst part about it is maybe you just feel bad. Right. But beyond that, you experience something new, and you're not learning from it. Correct. You might there's an inkling of the fact that you might be successful, right? And who knows how many people you're gonna meet along the way. That's gonna help you connect dots to something new. Yeah. But if you don't take that step, you let the fear, you let that thing control you, then none of this is gonna happen. I think one of the biggest problems I see with people, especially in the African community, is that it's like we know we're unhappy. Maybe we hate our situation. Maybe we hate the job, we have all these payments, we are unhappy, we just doing it to survive. We try the business not working, we're not really asking for help, but we're just pushing along. But it's still somehow our comfort level. So even though we hate it, we're not gonna step outside of the comfort zone because, well, this is what we know. Yeah. What happens if I go and ask someone for help and he shame me and all our what ifs outside of the comfort is what holds us back from doing something different. Right.
You talking to me now?
What's that? They're from this man. I really jamming because you see sometimes what's happened a lot, especially in our community, I realize is that we don't have that person to say you're playing the fool. Yeah. You know what I mean? And be real about it. You know, and really be genuine about it. Now that's some people will tell you, boy, you're thinking, boy, you're playing the fool, boy, and then that's the end of the conversation there. A man wouldn't give you a suggestion. Yeah. Right? They wouldn't give you something and say, well, alright, you know, this is not working for you. Where you're struggling with, let me see, what's the next step? How you're moving from this space to the next space. You know, and that's why I felt the importance of bringing you to the show because, I mean, everybody is reaching, I think I reach a ceiling right now and I don't know where to go again. Yeah. You know, and in conversing with one of my clients this afternoon, I was like, he started to say, so why do this and why do that? And it was like, you know, so even sometimes
sometimes when we have a conversation, it might be a simple thing we inside here and 2-3 away and we having a conversation. And I was like, you know, I never studied that good. And it's just a passing conversation, you know. This is just I mentioned something, you know, part of people looking for a coach, somebody to inspire them. I think knowing people who do that, because for me, I was not a big fan of that at all.
Right. You mean having access to them?
No. The actual positioning of like a coach and that kind of thing. I always used to think, and I see how detrimental it is to me. I can do it for myself. If I used to think, if I can inspire me, you know, who could? And then and I just say to myself, if you had this kind of mentality 10 years ago,
where would you be?
Yeah, where I mean, every aspect of my life.
Right. And boy, that thinking is so dangerous, I think, because even if you think about it just in your personal life, even in your business, it really just holds it back. So if I go to my business now and say, well, I could do this myself, and I just do that for everything, I'm now limiting my potential for what my business could be. Because what if I am really good at the one-on-ones? I'm just real bad at admin, I'm bad at the sales calls. But I want to do all. I don't want to bring on nobody to do those things.
Right.
No, I'm stretching myself. I'm doing all the things I don't want to do.
Right.
Some of the stuff I want to do.
Right.
My business is only going to go so far.
Mm-hmm.
Personal life. I actually could talk personally about this because I had my first mini anxiety attack. Right? I drink too much coffee. And I was real anxious about the new book and all these things. It's normal, you know, we are human, we feel emotions, right?
Of course, yeah.
And the mix of the pressures and things going wrong. You know, I had a little episode, and I always think back, and I always forget the books, but I know the knowledge is up there because I just keep it in there, right? The best of the best. These men are coaches, you know, for every little aspect of their life. They talk about their mental, they have a coach. Business, they have a coach. For me, even in relationships, they have a coach because they understand it's like any other muscle. If I go to the gym and I just work out for my knowledge. Yeah, I'll gain my muscle and I'll get my condition and stuff, but that's only for my knowledge. If I have a coach there with me, somebody who know what he's doing, he will guide me in a way that I would never be able to do to myself. But it's hard, it's real hard, and it's a real, right? The short-term idea of giving somebody money to help you somewhere you think you could do on your own, which you probably could, but the fact that they could do it better, we can't see that down the road. It will just help us so much more exponentially than it even matter.
Yeah.
You know, if I didn't get the business coach at one time, give me that piece of information that helped me do this and it escalates, and now I'm making the revenue targets I wanted.
Yeah.
We can't see that because all we're thinking is, yo, I have about $2,000 extra this month. $1,500 to go here. Do I really want to spend $500 on a coach? Do I really want to spend this $350 to go and see this therapist? It's hard. But we don't see, like, outside of ourselves that we actually just do the same things over and over. Nothing is changing, but every month we say,
and it's not a part of we natural.
Yeah.
Because we had Sule, and I had to admit after our show, I think I even said it on the show, I was not a fan of therapists and therapy. You know, again, because of the mindset that if I can sit down and deal with my own self. You know?
Yeah, well, I want to sit down and let somebody
but I see the how important it could be. And now you have so much more people coming out and saying that, you know, well, I just do therapy because, you know. And I think, because, and most importantly, yes, it really did help, you know. And I think that what you're doing here, we're going to see that same thing in the next couple of years. Where we're realizing, because we're achieving more, you know. You know, a lot of the times as African people, we focus on all the negative things in and around the communities, in and around the places that we live in. But with all that negativity that we cannot avoid, it are real positives. I mean, look at the tree. We say, no, right? Say, no, with our altar. Look at this book. They're not no skinny book. They're not no 10 page. You know? Proper book. They are proper. Yeah.
You know what really killed me too? When I came with the first book, everybody was, I don't know why they had this assumption that the majority of people who buy my books were like uptown or like West people. Because I like Northwest kind of area. Nah, I mean, all these places, they call it at-risk areas. You know how much books I draw for people inside there? And it just became a norm. So when I tell my friends, drop a book and I will tell this man, he tell me about his life and what he's trying to do, it's like, these guys say something like, boy, what? And so people feel this joke. They feel that people, you know, it's just darkness. No, it's a real light. And that light need more help to shine brighter. And that's
what kind of go back to what we do this week here with the I Am Success project. You know, and when I wanted to, you know, we will say it loud for the whole day. We proud past people as a success lab until composite school. And so we have a project going on with one of our schoolmates. She's doing that, you know, the I Am Success. And the statement that not because we come from a certain stigma means you have to live up to that.
Correct.
Or that you can't move higher than what they perceive
the area to be. Because I always remember I went success and then I repeated move up until.
And I remember hearing people who was going more around the little family, I mean, living real good, living good, offer legitimate work and business and things. So they're plain, they're not living here. Plain. We need more of that.
Yeah.
We need more of the people and them. I mean, it's hard. I personally don't want to oversimplify it.
Yeah.
You know? So it goes back to that where it have a light thing. And we just have to continue going. I mean, I kind of shocked to hear you say that because if I'm really honest, going through your page and thing on Instagram, it does have a
slant.
a proper.
Yeah.
And whether we want to admit it or not, we have certain things we perceive in we had perception based on how certain things look. You know, like I get more than once I don't look like I live in Mova. So
How does it look?
I tried to figure out.
I get thing like
How does that look?
People think I even live in Trinidad. I'd be like, how?
How does that look?
Yeah, that is what but I give it to you because again I'm telling you, I going through your page and I like, so when you say to me people say the field is only a certain clientele, if I be real honest, I probably did think the same thing too. I didn't reach so far. But again, but you know why that's bad? It's bad because we don't associate proper with our communities.
Yeah, it's hard to, and you know what really helped me with all of this? I mean, I was real lucky that my parents do this work. Right. So when I started, just real being honest with you, if I didn't know that they got success from it, I would have said I probably shouldn't be doing this.
Right.
And I think more people in our community need to see the fact that
possibility.
Hey, you know, Karen is a papa. This man doing it. This is his whole life. You know, all this code, they're just rocking it. You know, and it's doing well.
Yeah.
They don't see it enough.
Yeah.
So now, if they start up a little nail tech care or start their barbering or even want to write a book, if they can't see, oh, I can be successful with this because I know these people doing it, they're not gonna want to do it, and that just makes sense. Like it just makes sense.
Yeah.
They will think it'll be an uphill battle. So it's things like these really help because when they see this now, they're like, oh, okay, so if I decide I want to do this,
So not
it can happen.
So not around 180 degrees, right? So what they see as success.
Yeah.
But they think like, why really want to ask this man, right? It's how he's feeling now. Because he's young. You know what I mean? He's young and it's like, now he's younger than me, And sometimes when you sit down in the barber chair and we talking, I just be like, but this man real information for such a young fella, boy. You know? And it's not a bad thing.
Yeah,
but you know,
nice to come across that.
But you know how people just think, like, what he could teach me. What you could coach me and tell me. On a real.
Yeah.
You know, what you could coach me and tell me at, how old is
29.
29. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but the reality is get only 10. You see?
And that's a real, we converse about that, that's a real bad thing in the community. And it starts at home.
Yes.
I have experienced it personally, and in relaying that experience to other people, I've met a lot of other people say that a lot of our parents, especially from our generation, don't accept that the children move further knowledge and information wise than them, and you can learn from each other.
And the thing is, it's so much more than just even knowledge, you know? Yeah, I remember if somebody training for something, I mean, just that thing in and of itself, they will just be more knowledgeable.
Exactly.
It's a given.
Yeah.
So when I speak to persons who are older and they doubt it, and I show them it's more about an introspection, you know, because I have my own life, you have your own life, right? We all have our different experiences.
Correct.
But at the end of the day, the foundational stuff is the same.
Yeah.
Your goals, your dreams, your time management, your inner workings, how you see yourself and what you believe as true outwardly. And you can't change those.
Right.
So like if you have that, good. I can work with that.
Right.
Once you show me those things, I can say, okay, well, we have something to work with here.
Yeah.
And when they realize that they have pitfalls with maybe how they see themselves, you know, that's also a big thing.
Yes,
Like, how I believe I'm capable of, what these are my 4 walls, I can't go anywhere outside of these. If I step outside of that, struggle. How they see the world, how they think they'll be perceived if like they're selling something, how they speak to somebody.
Right.
All these things start to play and I start to realize, oh, you know, it became so normal to me that I didn't realize that it's abnormal. And you start to make those little tweaks and you realize, okay, it's less the world and it's more me. Because most people get frustration because they want to control the things they can't control. They want to control the boss who's telling them to do this. They want to control the relationship in this particular way. They want to control the kids. They want to control the clientele. But it's not about that. It's about focusing on, okay, I want all these things from people, but what am I doing for myself to attract it or make it a reality? And when you start realizing you're really working on yourself, then what do you expect? You can't come and tell me you have this great idea, maybe for clothing. And then I ask you, well, what you know about clothing? You read anything on it, you watch any videos, they say, nah, I'll just be like, well, then you're not serious. But nobody want to hear that. But that's the reality of it. Facts. I want to support you, you know. But when you come to me with this weak nonsense, I can't. Like, it just shows me that you are just surface level.
Feel like I'm not caring a little too much.
I was always like this, right?
I see the man once a week, you know.
I will just go into this thing a little bit because I say it more than once, and it's things that all the things I pick up pay. Time management.
Right, so not even that. Explain in somebody reaching out to you who wants to experience the personal development. Explain, alright, so when we sit down, these are the things we will go through. Bam, 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 bam. So they could have an understanding, because I think a lot of people just feel you come in to tell them, well, do this.
So explain this, when you just do
this. Do this, and everything will be good.
First of all, I do an evaluation, because everybody real different. So it's like a real long list of questions, basically going through like how they live, how they think, what the things they want from life, what they think is stopping them, what they actually doing to get there. Most people, when they start answering the questions, they don't realize, oh, shucks, I really do much. And if they see the pitfalls already, and then from that, I basically create a framework of, alright, you know, these are the pillars. It's always time management, purpose, goal setting, dreams, the habits, and the way of living. And I say, well, based on the evaluation, these sessions will surround these things. Because I mean, everybody will be different, so it will be different. But I always tell them, the result is this is what we're trying to get at. Most times I always get the result of being, okay, you compartmentalize all the different areas of your life, you say what you want from them, we work it out, you set actual goals with timelines, and I think people have a timeline when you're going to get done by, and then I'm basically giving you the tools, equipping you with the tools so that you could do it yourself. Because I have a problem, people come to me and I don't know if it's like this norm out there now where they want a coach forever. Right? I don't believe in that. I believe in you could get coaching and then fall off.
Time free for that.
They can fall off and then jump back in to get back on. But people just want a coach forever. And I think if I set up my business in a way where I'm your coach forever, I am robbing you. You should get to a point where you know how to manage your time. You know how to set your goals. You have a habit of reading, checking up on yourself, all these different things that will get you set, so you could hit the ground running. And that's always going to be my goal, where you could be equipped enough to do what you have to do and do well. Right? If I had to be every single month we meet it like that, I just robbing you, and it just don't make sense to me. Because at the end of the day, what your result is, once it's specific enough, you should be able to do it once we go through this stuff. And the question on time management, I mean, I feel like this is something to answer because he's the only barber that teach me more about time management.
So what you're saying, right, is that little clip that we get, that's our real thing?
Boy, when I send the video, before the video, the script, it's like, I free your barber, you know. I don't think I can trim my hair.
So that really happened?
Well, no. So, the first time I was late, I still remember the mix of emotions. I just be like, boy, I'm gonna get this man my money, boy. I started to get vexed. And I remember, I was like, first I got vexed at my car. I was like, boy, why I had to stop and get our gas up, boy? Then the traffic, I was like, but this big truck taking forever, boy. I going right there to right there. I reached the traffic lights, but this traffic light red forever, boy. And I'm messaging him. I was like, hey, boy, I'm gonna be late. And every 2 minutes I updated him, hoping that I had to pay the money. And then getting down, I'm just like, you know, we talking about, because I wrote about in the first book about blame tag, and you're not taking responsibility for what's happening in your life. It's very easy for us to pass blame. Again, I think that's a whole pride thing. We don't want to appear weak, even if it's up here. And I had to go through the list and I'm like, yo, Daniel, everything you say is real nonsense. And you just late. That's on you. Yeah. If you had to pay this money to learn the fact that you had to be on time, but then
that's what it
you had to be on time. You know, and that was actually one of the reasons why I had to put it in the book.
Right.
Because one, I thought it was real different.
Right.
Because who's going to read our story? What I hear that and start learning about time management. I'll get you for 6 years. You're just not going to see that coming.
Yeah.
And then two, the fact that this is a real thing that this man's been dealing with every single day.
Yeah.
Right? And if you are not proper with the time management, you will get in line real fast.
Yeah.
And it's true, it will spill over into other parts of your life.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I was real good about time, but after I started trimming hair, I started to be like, yo, you know, I would leave a half an hour, let's leave about 45 minutes. And I started to spill over there every
10 minutes to the interview, 10 minutes to the reach.
You know, when people are reaching late for his thing, I'd be like, hey boy, they're coming late for this haircut, I'm looking to this up, boy. You know, like, that's how serious it was.
And that aspect I just laugh because again what I was trying to do, at least in my mind, is tying everything now.
Yeah.
Right.
Like the way we look at a barber in the African community, we don't get that kind of respect, that kind of
that's what I'm missing on. That mental health part. Listen, I know black people don't like to go and talk to no therapists, but sometimes when you sit on the chair and you come with the expectation of giving updates, that in itself is a level of taking care of mental health.
True.
Right? Whether you're unloading what happened in the week, you know, you're getting some advice. Me specifically, I hate to come and sit on that chair and do an update of something I've done that's different over the past week. Like something I've accomplished.
Right. I
feel salty. I feel like, boy, if I had nothing new to say, I'd just be like, I feel him. I feel my barber, you know, and it's so simple, but it's so powerful, and it's something so easy that we could do.
Yeah.
Because we all going to come to get a haircut once a week, once every 2 weeks, you know. And if you come with this idea of, okay, what new am I bringing? You know, what I deal with that, you know, maybe I need some advice to kind of work through. We don't even realize that is actually working on our mental health.
True.
And it's something so easy to overlook, but it's so powerful. You know? And I think more people should realize how much, because at the end of the day, it's not for Karen to talk to people all day.
Yeah.
Like doing that kind of emotional type of interaction, it will drain somebody.
Yeah.
So it takes some fortitude to be able to do that every single day. On top of the standing and the trimming and all that. Yeah. So that's something that people should really be thinking about as well.
Alright, but before we wrap up, because you know, I know you're a busy man, tell them a little bit about the Millennial Experience, what they could expect coming out of the Millennial Experience. I'm going to tell you something before you go into that. If only read the Millennial Mind, do not buy this book yet. Right? You have to buy both of them, a matter of fact. Right? I have 2 copies here. Come and get one, it's $150 for it. This one is same price.
Well, when it's here, it'll be 120.
Alright, no problem, right? It'll be 120 here. So, Millennial Mind is a very nice, easy read. 2 days, 3 days max.
Yeah, for real.
You know, you can knock it down. It's real easy. Tell us about the Millennial Experience.
For this Millennial Experience, I really wanted to take the challenges from our first book and just put it into stories, because I felt like a lot of people from that first book, it had like small little stories. People would be calling me and be like, hey, I going through this thing that you're talking about right now. You know, I wish I could see more.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to try to encapsulate people's stories within the book. But I also wanted it to be insightful. I wanted people to read it and think, but I do this every day. And realize that, that is actually hurting you.
Correct.
You know, I am just real shocked at the things and conversations and experiences I have with people in my own country that they just accept as normal. And I'm just like, that is not normal. Like, you should not be going through that every day, and you should not accept that as something that's normal. Right. So when I talked about like suicide in there, because I losing too many regiments, and I think that's a problem.
Yeah. It is.
Talking about domestic abuse, we know like domestic abuse is so normal here that we just accept it as a thing that's like given. You know, and that particular one is something I wrote about because I have this thing that I real nosy. If he's my friend, I really wanna ask him questions, you know. And I think it's real strange that at least like 8 out of 10 of my female friends have been assaulted in some way. And that's crazy. You know?
That we talk about in such a normal tone.
Yeah, and when they tell me it, it's such a, they say there's just a normal tone that they just accepted that as, well, I'm a girl that happened. I'm like, that's a problem. Because they know so many people that it's happened to. So it's like all of these topics, and don't get me started with social media, because social media is like one of the biggest make or breaks, especially for my generation, because yes, it's a useful tool. We can do so much with it, but it also has its super toxic effect on us.
Yeah, that.
Whether it be creating that anxiety, doing this thing where because you see a profile, you don't see the human, you don't see the flesh and bones behind it, you feel the need to say and do things that you just never do or say with a regular person. And we normalize it, we accept it as normal, but we don't realize what it's doing to our lives. And of course, I'm mixing the little time management. I mean, the haircut story in and of itself is just different, and I wanted to make it different because I see too many things that just, I'm like, this is crazy. this is not normal, and we have to, I really wanted to put a spotlight on some of these things so people can have conversations, because they're going to read it and they're going to want to talk about it. And to me, if I can get that to happen, that's good enough.
So that's almost something like what we try to do, what we're doing here with the Afro-Trinidadian. We want to talk about things that we shush about, because them 3 or 4 topics, you know, talk about it. Them topics we shush about. Suicide is something we shush about, and act like it is only happening in news. Right? Domestic abuse is something. I mean, I find it so difficult to hear or see a woman getting beat up and not get involved. Right? It's things that happen, and we don't really want to like acknowledge it and talk about it. But at the end of the day, we also want to leave, so we wrapping up here. Leave us with based on what you just do, something that you could see as a solution to try and help some of these things, and then that you try to tackle in your work.
For me, I think Trinidad is a bubble.
Trinidad is
a bubble.
Alright.
A bubble within other mini bubbles, right? So it's really about boosting these bubbles, right? And the only way that's going to happen is by people taking away the fact that these things are not normal, right? You want to run a proper business, we need to see more people actually talking about it and the process, not just giving us surface stuff. We want to know what you do. You want to see that, you know, women are actually respected. It can't just be we say it, we need to do it.
Correct.
And I'm not talking about if you just like you abusing it. No, I'm talking about, you know, you have those friends who say things and you're just like, this real off. But you're thinking to yourself, nah, you're never gonna, you know?
Correct.
But because we're not saying anything, they will continue to do it.
Yeah.
You know? It's all of these little things. We see it, we do nothing. But at the end of the day, everyone is seeing it and we're all thinking the same thing. Well, I guess it's just the way it is. Now we gotta stop blowing away them stigmas, because there's too much potential in this country. Right? There's too many people with big dreams that are being squashed because they can't see the way. But there's too many of us who know the way. So why are we not, you know, creating these pillars where they can say, okay, this is the way. I mean, what you're doing right now is actually helping along this way. So I hope we keep it consistent, make it bigger, because this is what we need. This is what we need to see, especially young people. This is what they need to see. They need to know that there's a way. Because if they're only seeing the darkness, if they only see the negative, then it's more likely to go towards that. So if they're seeing that there's another way and it's actually feasible, then you have that glimmer of, okay, I could choose something else. And the more that actually do it, it becomes a group kind of herd mentality. And it's more, okay, that old way of thinking, we don't need to do that anymore. But it takes all of us slowly making the changes on our own, and then just normalizing that type of activity on all fronts. But it'll take time.
Alright, cool. Well, folks, I mean,
I want to ask you one more question. we could expect more little snippets, video-wise, from the new book.
Yeah. Two more, and then we have a full trailer coming. I'm really excited to be trailer. So
the full trailer is all the stories.
Because I enjoy
the
simplicity in it, and the simplicity, the storytelling. I really enjoy it.
The book is an easy read, trust me.
Yeah.
It's a good buy for anybody out there who are in our generation who is dealing with the millennials now. I mean, some of us are millennials too because I'm 81, right? So it's kind of just on it, you know. But you know, you want to understand your children, you want to understand the way they think and that kind of thing. There's like there is a which topic is that, boy? The chapter on the trophies.
Oh, the participation medals.
Yes.
Yeah. That was a
The
big one.
participation
Yeah.
medal, bro. Like that blew my mind. Where he spoke about 10 children on a race, everybody get medals. What is that teaching the children? You know, it's not teaching them to lose, but it's not teaching them to win at the same time.
It's teaching them to know that they're special no matter what happens.
Yeah.
And the real world doesn't work that way.
Correct.
So now you have a generation that thinks they're special. In the real world that doesn't treat well with special. And then you want to know why they kind of falling apart.
Mediocre too. Yeah. You go to the again, I feel come back.
But you know, sometimes once they come once, you have to find an extra to bring them back.
Anytime, with so many topics, that's the thing, it's so many topics.
Because that alone in itself was a whole big discussion among some young parents. It is so nice.
Yeah.
But it has some far-reaching
implications. Yeah. So we don't think we're gonna it was the car, you know we just do it. But let me safe out there, monitor the children, monitor them with physically better leave the house. I mean, look at the amount of missing people in Trinidad and Tobago. This place too small.
Yeah, for that.
For that boy.
And
something
for
going on.
See and
And people just disappearing. Monitor your children, talk to your children.
Yeah.
You know, do we have to do to keep with children safe? We always like to say with children is the future. Let we treat them like that now. You know, so everybody be safe out there. Goodness until the next time.
Yeah, man.